We need to book a cab.
Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. LaShawn, what were you up to this weekend? Uh, I still haven't seen the red one. I need to go see that. The red one. It hasn't, they said it didn't do well at the box office. I don't know why. Let me find the document. All right, everyone, I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, you need to stand and let me know that you are here. If you do not answer the docket, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. And somebody will be going to trial today because I know you all wanted your jury trial. And custody, Joshua Anzadua, Patrick Nungary, Michael Cox.
Here you go.
Thank you. Joseph Smith, Joseph Jefferson Smith IV, Christopher Charles Joshua, Ruth Trevino, Randy Folsom, custody. Thank you. Walter Craig Davies, Emily Flores. You need to stand when your name is called. Mario Inaosa. Thank you. Charles Claycomb. Eric Kelly. Aaron Xavier Ramirez. Samantha Guadarrama. Thank you. Eduardo Reyes, custody. Anthony Villarreal. Israel Cortez. Oh, Anthony Villarreal, you're all right. I don't know why it says jail. All right, thank you. Ruben Xavier Gonzalez.
I may have the opportunity to give him a phone call.
Thank you. Edgar Aguilar, custody. Brian Maldonado Arita. Brian Ariel Maldonado Arita. Jacqueline Vera. Jose Roberto Lopez, custody. Arturo Villanueva. Thank you. Eric Kelly.
Present, Your Honor.
Brenda Carpenter. Jesse Vega, custody. Jordan Elijah Davis. Brennan Dane Short. Lindsay Lorraine Hernandez. Lindsay Lorraine Hernandez.
Your Honor, I represent her and she may be running late. I know she got under treatment. If I may be allowed the chance to follow up.
Yes.
Thank you.
Luis Alec Martinez.
Present, Your Honor.
John Paul Pena. Joe Maria Ramos. Karen San Miguel, custody. Clinton Camacho. Ronaldo Matos. Guadalupe Roque. Leopold Ruiz Noel Rodriguez, custody. John Anthony Ramirez. Yeah, I think you're gonna have a lot of people going into custody today. Michael H. Cox II.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you. You're on the docket twice. Well, actually 3 times. Okay. Mark Anthony Aragon, custody. I mean, he got the Mark Anthony going from Caesar, then Aragon from Lord of the Rings. Where can you go wrong with that? Victor Rodriguez, custody. Megan Conacher. Thank you. Janessa Lynette Salazar. All right, is there anyone who came in later? Your name was not called. All right, if you'll stand, what's your name? Ruben Gonzalez. Do you have a case number or SID number? 175. All right, thank you. Just have a seat. We'll get with you. Who else? Yes.
Anthony Cochran.
Anthony Cochran. Do you have a case number or SID number?
One five memory.
All right, just have a seat. We'll get with you. Anyone else who can? Yes. All right, thank you. We'll get with you. You are supposed to be on the docket today. I don't know why you're not on it. Yes. Who else came in late? Not here. All right, what's your name in the red? Yes. Are you here for yourself or somewhere else?
My daughter.
All right, is your daughter in custody?
No.
Oh, okay, just have a seat. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Me.
Is he with you?
Yeah.
If I may, just call this case, I represent him for probation status for today, Judge.
All right, that's Eugene who?
John Ramirez, Your Honor.
John Ramirez. All right, have a seat. And sir, who are you?
Me.
Yes, are you with her?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just have a seat. All right, everyone, somebody's going to go to jury trial today. So attorneys, you know the rules, please confer. Thank you.
Judge, may we approach very briefly? Sure. I have that motion for Espinosa, which is a capital, is set on Monday, the 19th. Our expert hasn't been able to see him, so he filed the motion for continuance. Can I bring him like Wednesday and we could do it? You want him here, right? For
Yes.
that?
Yes, well, he can do it by Zoom. Is he
Okay.
available by Zoom today?
The defendant?
Yes.
I imagine. I don't think he's doing anything.
All right. Well, talk to Ms. Ferguson and see if he's available by Zoom.
Okay, all right.
And then if you happen to have a copy of the motion, great. If you don't,
I do.
all right.
I just printed out the envelope on the back.
All right, sure.
Oh, so sorry.
Gotta be here early.
Okay. You just want to text me or email me? I can. Okay. Yeah. Now we find.
John Pena.
All right, are the parties ready on Noel Rodriguez? Is he in custody?
Yes, ma'am, he's right here.
Okay.
Good to be here early with you, Judge.
Oh, great. Good having you here.
Keep you warm, man. Well, so here, I got the people.
Let me just check. Do you know if a PSI was done on this or no?
Yes, ma'am. You want a copy, man?
All right, thank you. Okay.
Page 10, Joe Rollins.
All right, thank you. I'm just waiting for the email.
Yes, ma'am.
Ruben Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez, Ruben Gonzalez, come up, please.
Go forward.
Mr. Gonzalez, here, please. Can I see an ID, please?
Let me check.
You have it up. Page 5, Judge.
Mhm. Okay.
Can you put them in the audience something?
All right, I'm just waiting to receive it. Ah, here we are. Oh, no problem. All right. Court is calling 2024 CR 00899 State versus Noel Anthony Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, if you'll come down, if I could have parties announced for the record for the state.
Robert Robach for Noel Rodriguez.
And are you Mr. Rodriguez? All right, you entered a no contest plea on October 16th, 2024 to the offense of choking. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. The state opposes your application. They're taking in consideration 2024 CR 008862. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, ma'am.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, okay.
No
Defense?
objections, Your Honor.
Have both parties had a chance to review the TAP evaluation, state? Defense?
Yes, ma'am.
Any objection to the TAP evaluation, state?
No, okay.
Defense?
No objections.
Any witnesses, state?
No witnesses, Judge.
Defense, any witnesses?
No, ma'am.
All right. I'll hear argument then. State you're opposed?
We are, Judge. Given the defendant's criminal history, this is not the first felony that he's been committed or that's been convicted of. He has committed multiple acts of family violence. And one in 2020, in October of 2023, was a choking and strangulation. However, that case was dismissed because the complainant waived prosecution.
And who was the complainant in that case?
It would have to check actually, guys. He has been convicted of unlawful carry of weapon and assault in 2021, and I can check the victim on that one momentarily. He also has been convicted out of state, out of Wilson County for an assault, assault second. He was given probation in that case. However, he did not complete his probation. He was revoked on December of 2023. And he is pleading to one case, which is the offense date of the 6th of June of 2024. It wasn't until he bonded out 3 days later, he committed another offense on June the 9th of 2024, also an assault second. Given his criminal history, given the fact that he has been given an opportunity to get probation in Wilson County and has been revoked, the state does not believe that he would be a good candidate for probation. And we ask that you sentence him to no more than 10 years TBC.
Right, and while the state is finding the list of the complainant on the other cases, defense, I'll hear your argument.
Yes, Judge, defendant's been in custody for 168 days. He has no felony convictions that I know of. He has 2 children. He does need some mental health assessment. The complainant in the case, Megan Rodriguez, in the report states that she's in favor of probation. I think with the proper guidelines set forth and conditions that the probation recommends that he's learned his lesson. He's taken anger management courses, 12 of them. I'd like to give you copies
Any
of
objection
those.
to the court reviewing the certificates?
Okay.
So has spent his 168 days productively in custody and is ready to return. He has to support his 2 children, needs to get back to work. And I think that any other conditions that you might give him that are outlined in the probation report, he's willing to follow follow your rules and not come back here.
All right, defense. I'm sorry, state.
To answer your previous questions on the first assault, the misdemeanor conviction was a different complainant. On the assault, choking strangulation that occurred on October 26th of 2023, where the case was dismissed for complaining waiving prosecution, was the same complainant as this case. It has a different last name, but I confirm it's the same date of birth.
All right, and then the case that you're taking in consideration, the ABI second, who's the complainant?
That one should also be the same.
All right, is there anything you wish to say?
I'm very more.
You want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record. All right, so what was this argument about?
I can't even remember that day.
All right, because according to the stipulations, it states that the complainant was sick through food poisoning, and she asked for your help caring for your child, which was crying. And it says that you became angry with her. So she ended up taking the child and asked you to fix a bottle for the baby. You were still angry and you were upset with her requests. So she put the child down and went to get the bottle for herself. You wanted to leave the residence and tried to get the car keys. She would not give you the car keys, so you slapped her. She defended herself. You hit her in her chest, then placed your hands around her neck, choking her. So you don't remember any of that?
No, Your Honor, I was putting my daughter to sleep that night and she had been in the restroom. I was having difficulty putting my daughter to sleep and I had asked her to help me. She ended up picking up our daughter and she started rocking her, putting her to sleep after that. I was frustrated, but I wasn't trying to leave at that point. It wasn't until she had started getting physical that I was trying to leave. But at no point did,
Well, it says here, the victim stated that she was strangled by her boyfriend. She sustained injuries to her neck and chest. While speaking with the victim, I observed scratch marks and redness to the left and right side of the neck and redness to the chest. I observed bruising to the left and right biceps and underneath both arms of the victim. And they photographed the injuries. I also photographed a large amount of black curly hair clippings that were in the bathroom allegedly left by the suspect prior to him fleeing the location.
I had cut my hair that day.
All right, well, in the report, they make it seem as though you choked her and then you cut your hair and then you left.
Uh, that day, um, it's hard to recall that day, but, I know that when she had started choking me and,
Oh, so you're saying she started choking you first?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, you may continue.
After that is I started going back at her and I regret it deeply. It's just,
Okay. All right, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
State any questions?
Just a couple, Your Honor. Mr. Rodriguez, you are applying for probation, or you're asking the court for probation. Okay. So you understand that the first step of probation is accepting responsibility, right? But when you spoke with the probation officer, when this report was being prepared, he did not want to talk about his, right?
I told the probation officer that I couldn't recall it fully.
Okay, so you did say that you had difficulty remembering, but then you also said that you'd rather not talk
I didn't want to talk about it without remembering it fully.
about. Okay, but you do remember that she started it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How is that accepting responsibility if you're blaming it on her?
I'm taking responsibility for my actions. I shouldn't have reacted the way that I did. I should just walked out of the house once things started getting physical.
But you understand that you've been placed on probation before, right?
Yes.
And the idea is probation should give you the opportunity to rehabilitate yourself and avoid engaging in any more criminal behavior, right?
Yes, sir.
So you didn't complete probation in Wilson County, right?
No, sir.
Okay, and then you committed an offense on June the sixth, right? Of 2024. The choking,
Yes, sir.
and then again on June the 9th of 2024, right?
Yes, sir. Or June 9th. That day I didn't really do anything. I had OD and my wife had called the cops saying that she needed ambulance.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, anything else from the
No,
defense?
I think, Judge, the fact that he took these anger management courses shows that he wants to comply with the terms of probation if you give it to him.
All right, the court is going to deny your application, find you guilty. Does anyone wish to speak to the cap?
Judge, in light of the fact he has two children, and he has a household that needs him, we request the cap be the minimum of 2 years.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
That's no more than 10 years.
All right. Mr. Rodriguez, I want you to know that I listened to the arguments of both sides. I listened to your testimony. I read the stipulations again because I'm not the one who accepted this plea. And I also reviewed the TAP evaluation and I reviewed the PSI report. This is what the court is going to do. Court is finding you guilty. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. The court will give you credit for any time served. Taking consideration 2024 CR 008862, there's to be no contact with Megan Lindsay Garza, no unsupervised contacts with minors. I'll recommend the therapeutic community for you. The therapeutic community does not increase the amount of time that you serve. For example, if I were to send you to 10 years, the fact that you're in the therapeutic community will not extend you beyond my sentence. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I do not have jurisdiction to force them to place you in the therapeutic community, so you'll have to request it. But it will show in your judgment that the court is requesting the therapeutic community for you to address any drug or alcohol issue or any mental health issues. And the court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison. Did you review the document? Yes?
Would it be possible
Yeah.
to get the no contact order dropped?
No. And let me explain to you why. I don't like for people to think that I just do things, just to do things. For example, because it's 6 years instead of 10, there's a reason for that. I took in consideration the mitigation evidence. I took into consideration what the complainant wanted, and I took into consideration your criminal history. And I took into consideration the classes that you completed. With regards to the no contact order, there's an issue here. And that issue hasn't been solved because this is not the first time that you were accused of assaulting her. This is the first time that I guess she's given a statement to the police about it and come to court about it and continued with it. So obviously that relationship is not working. I don't have you on supervision with the court because I'm sending you to prison. If I had you on supervision, I would still have the no contact order, then maybe slowly consider lifting the no contact order. But not in this case, the answer will be no. All right, so that's 6 years in the prison. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
You signed.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. I know 6 years is a lot of time. It's a lot of time away from your children, but you can't continue to commit actions that you commit, violent actions, and then not expect there to be any consequences. When you're released from prison, if I'm still here, you need to make sure that you take care of your drug issues and you take care of your mental health issues. If you cannot find a place, come back here and I will pick up the phone and call someone to help you. You understand?
On my release, I plan on going to CHCS, Center for Healthcare Services.
Okay,
So
that's
I'm gonna
great.
Get my primary care doctor back on medication.
All right, awesome. Make sure that you stay on top of that, okay? Up to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Appreciate how thorough you are.
Oh, thank you so much. All right, who's here on Emily Flores?
You are. Looks like you're overdue for a carpet as well, Your Honor.
Oh, let me just tell you, see, that's a sore, Vashon, he doesn't know how sore of a spot that is.
Did I not about that?
Oh, no, you can bring it up, but here's the thing. Yeah, bring it up one more time. Here's the thing. Do you know it costs taxpayers a lot of money to move from one courtroom to another? So I used to be at the courtroom at the
Right.
other end. Well, when they had that flood, the great flood in the DA's office,
Uh-huh.
all that water came down in that courtroom and it soaked through the carpet. And because everybody was on vacation, nothing happened with the carpet, right? So it was soaked in my office, the coordinator's office. The coordinator's furniture was ruined. And we kept calling, what's the name of the guy? Who's in charge with that? In charge of building maintenance? All right. So anyway, the guy in charge of building maintenance, he's the person who was smoking on the balcony who got the door. Well, anyway, I ended up calling him saying, hey, this carpet needs to be taken
Eddie?
out. No, not Eddie. Eddie wouldn't do that. So I called and said, the carpet needs to be taken out. And you know what he tells us? There's nothing wrong with that carpet. Like, it was flooded. The carpet needs to
Yeah.
be taken out. So every Monday when we would come in, the entire office would smell like mold and mildew. So I kept writing letters, sending emails to commissioners and everybody. Nothing was ever done. And then my toilet in the judges' chambers would never work.
Mm.
Nothing was ever done with that. So, and the carpet in the courtroom, nothing was ever done with that. So for 4 years, I was sending emails, phone calling, saying, hey, can you all not afford the deductible? Isn't there insurance on this? Would never do anything. So I said, look, it will cost you more money if I move courtrooms to the end of the hallway than you just
That's why
replace.
you moved?
That's why I
Oh,
moved.
man.
Because normally I wouldn't move. I don't,
Better window view or something.
oh, no, I don't like wasting taxpayers' money. So that's why I moved. But it's nice to have a view of the cathedral so I can pray.
Sure. I'm sure you'll get a new one, Judge. They're all getting one.
No, they're not going to give it to us.
Really?
No.
Wow. Sorry I brought it up.
That's okay. I will believe it when I see it. Bashan, the struggle is real.
I've just put my hope and faith into the system that you're gonna get a new carpet, so.
There's a toilet that's out in the jury room.
Oh, that's gotta get fixed.
Oh, you know how long we've been waiting for that? How many months?
Oh, Judge, that's horrible.
And then,
Eddie, tell Eddie
oh,
Eddie will
no, you
get
can't
some-
do it that way. You have to go
the
through
channels.
the channels. And we've already gone through the channels. And then it took us 2 years to get light bulbs for this courtroom when the light bulbs went out. So, yeah.
Wow.
So is there anything you would like to discuss to brighten this Monday?
I would like to discuss that Miss Flores has been accepted into the PTD program.
Awesome. Norma, sorry you had to hear that. Your attorney is the one who brought it up. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court and being on time. Miss Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset for PTD. All right, we'll be back on January 16th. Make sure you keep up with everything, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
Once you
you.
sign the reset form, you're excused. Scott, anything else you want to bring up?
No, Judge, I'm afraid of that.
What page is she on? All right, thank you. Who's here on Samantha Gagarama? I think this is criminal trial division.
Yes.
Hello. Have you all conferred?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have all discovery?
Do we have all discovery? I think so. We're not sure.
All right, has an offer been tendered?
No, you're on contact the complainant. and asking them to do so.
All right. All right, when we come back, you all need to make sure you have all the discovery. I don't know the discovery unless you all want to come back here for a hearing and I'll go through the entire prosecution guide. Okay, won't be necessary.
No, it will not.
All right, Norma, recall this for January 6th, please.
6th, Your Honor.
Yes. All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you excuse.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, discovery and status to tender an offer. And let me see what page she is on. But Sean, it's a shame we don't have that email again where emails were going through to everybody in the entire county. Yes. Hi, Richard.
Hello. I went to a Christmas party on Saturday.
Mhm.
And my friend that was throwing the Christmas party has nothing to do with the law. She's a nurse. And she
Mhm.
goes, oh, there's a judge that's on TikTok or something. And I love her. She's awesome.
Oh, thank you for the support.
And I was like, and she's from here in San Antonio. She goes, yeah. So I knew exactly what she talked about.
Oh, and you know what? I'm telling you, I think
I-
the process should be transparent so people won't think they can come in and it's like the practice or something.
Right. Yeah, totally different.
Yes. All right, Janessa Salazar. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. So are you already on the motion to revoke?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah.
It's asked for a motion to withdraw.
Okay. Why?
They're,
Because I reviewed the circumstances of the offense and the motions and I think we can prove it.
All right. Let's go on the record. Court is calling 2024 CR 3821, State of Texas versus Janessa Salazar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Your Harris Edelman.
defense?
Danielle Cranberg.
All right, this is the motion to revoke and off the record state you are tendering or asking that the motion be withdrawn. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And why?
The violation allegation.
All right. Then the court will sign the motion to withdraw. All right, and then with regards to the PF case, what's happening with that? The theft of property.
I think she has a different attorney listed for that one.
All right. Oh, that's Mick Aguilar. So if you're just waiting in the courtroom a little bit, could you call Mick to see if he can come over very quickly?
Yes,
And then we'll take care of that. All right.
Thank you.
Judge, on her probation case, so, we would like to possibly alter and amend conditions to
Yes.
include, mental health evaluation, make caseload placement, and moral recognition therapy.
All right, we'll do a Mick evaluation out of custody. And then in regards to the MRT, do you think the MRT is needed until we discover what's going on mentally?
I do.
All right. So MRT. All right, just have a seat. Thank you. I'm sorry, what? Okay, all right, thank you. And Norma, if you can call Mick. They're not done with the PF number.
Yeah.
Joseph Jefferson Smith IV. Christopher Charles Joshua.
Council President, Judge.
All
He
right.
should be on Zoom, Your Honor.
No, he's not.
He's not. I will get a hold of him, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Charles Claycomb. Oh, and counsel, I need to give you a different Zoom link. Norma, if you can give him the new Zoom link, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Brian Maldonado Arita. Brennan Short. Lindsay Hernandez. All right, where's Lindsay Hernandez? Okay. Clinton Camacho. Clinton Camacho. Ronaldo Matos. John Anthony Ramirez. Thank you. He should be dressed.
Your Honor, I'm gonna excuse myself so I can have my client get on.
Thank you.
Bob.
Mark Anthony Aragon?
Yes, yes, we're ready.
Good morning. Just give me one moment. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 8245 and 2022 CR 3008, State versus Mark Anthony Aragon. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Megan Gallagher, state.
Robert Mauer for the defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Aragon?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, off the record for a moment. Excuse me, sir, you're gonna have to find a seat for security reasons. Thank you. All right, we're back on the record. And each cause number, you entered a plea of guilty. The court ordered a TAP evaluation and PSI in each cause number. This was actually set for a hearing, but your client was a no-show. And so a warrant was issued for his arrest. And cause number 2022 CR 8245, according to the plea bargain agreement, the state is silent on your application. There's to be restitution to Express Super Gs. This is the rank concurrent with 2022 CR 3008. And in that cause number, according to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison, and the state is silent on your applications. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State?
Yes, Judge.
Defense?
Yes.
Any objection? State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No.
Have both parties had a chance to review the TAP evaluation? State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, no objections.
All right, state is silent. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Judge, on my client's behalf, I'd ask the court to consider granting his application for probation. And if the court decides that's not appropriate, I just ask the court give him credit for time served and honor the plea bargain.
All right, is there a reason why he didn't show for court at his sentencing?
I have no explanation, Judge.
All right, would you like to say anything?
I had just lost my job and I,
No. I mean, if you want to say something, you can say something, but you're going to be placed under oath. And if it's something that is factual, the state will be able to ask questions in regards to that.
no,
So do you wish to say anything?
no.
All right, then in cause number ending in 8245, according to the PSI report, they have a restitution amount of, I believe, 2,500. Is there an agreement to that restitution amount?
No, Judge.
All right, other than their request of that amount, state, do you have any documentation? On council? Because in the PSI report, I just see where they're saying tanks were stolen and they state it's for $2,500, but there is no receipts or anything of that nature.
Yes, Your Honor. Checking on our online system to see if that's been uploaded to Discovery.
No problem. And while she's reviewing that, and cause number 2022 CR 8245, the court is going to deny your application. Court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2022 CR 3008. And any updates, date?
Good. Pulling it up. Sorry, my computer. Judge, I don't see any receipts uploaded, so.
All right, there's going to be restitution to Express Super Gs. And the owner is listed as Raul Garcia. There's to be no contact with 227 Enrique Barrera Parkway or Express Super Gs. Anything else in that cause number with regards to sentencing?
No, Judge.
And then in cause number ending in 3008, The court is finding you guilty. Sentence you to 3 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. And this will run concurrent with 2022 CR 8245. Anything else in that cause number with regards to sentencing?
No, Judge.
All right, in each cause number, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because these are plea bargaining agreements, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record and state you're excused. Here's the thing, and I'm sure your attorney will tell you this. Yes, I review people's history, but the number one thing you must do, if you have sentencing, you have to show up. Who knows what would have happened? Maybe I would have given you probation, but the fact that you don't show up combined with your criminal history, that's a recipe that tells me you're not going to do well on probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mick Aguilera.
Good morning, sir.
Oh,
Oh, does that have my client's name on it?
Next pile.
Yeah.
It's gonna take me a while because I'm putting dates in.
For Stephanie, she like had surgery on her foot, so I offered to run them down. I
Oh my
didn't check
gosh,
them.
how is she doing?
She's good, but it's like her first day without the scooter,
Mhm.
and she was gonna hobble all the way down here, and I'm like, girl, I'll just
Oh,
take
no.
it for you. So I apologize, Judge.
Oh, no, 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 I'm just joking. There you are, have a good one. All righty. And what's your client's name?
Janessa Salazar.
Can I see the file on Genesis Salazar? It's the PF case.
I understand they withdrew the MTR.
Yes. So, Janessa Salazar, if you can come forward. All right, on this case, it's a PF case. It hasn't been indicted. So we can bring you back at the request of your attorney. Otherwise, you're not going to be brought back unless and until it's indicted.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and are you okay with not receiving a reset date?
Yes, Judge.
All right, then you are excused.
Thank you so
Make sure you speak to probation before you leave.
Yes, Your
Thank
Honor.
you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Yes. On a completely unrelated note.
Yes.
2 okay on the 18th?
Yes.
Okay. I'll see you on the 18th if not so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Sarah Gutierrez.
Sarah?
You know, they had a Hall and Oates song, Sarah Smile. He doesn't know what I'm talking about. He's too young.
That's a great song. I do.
Isn't that a fantastic song?
Whatever. Really good song.
And you know, that song is about the person who would be writing their songs. They broke up, but supposedly they're still good friends. But a lot of her hits are from
Really?
that time.
Yeah.
And they said the same thing about Lionel Richie. A lot of the songs that he wrote, it was with his wife. All righty. So they tell me your case has been dismissed.
Oh, thank God. That's like a Christmas miracle. That's all I wanted for Christmas.
Happy Festivus.
Oh my gosh.
To the rest of us.
Thank you so much, Judge Boyd.
All right,
Thank
you're so
you.
welcome. And thank you for always dressing appropriately
I
for
could
court.
have dressed better today. I'm
No, no.
getting over a cold, so.
No, 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 that's fine. So make sure you don't come back here for anything else unless you're just coming back to visit, okay?
I'll bring you some flowers if I do.
You made Sarah smile.
You did. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And counsel, I don't know if they have a copy of it in the system or not. If you want to print out for it to give it to her, you can request that.
Thank you.
All right, thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
No, 6 weeks. Did you hear how you cost so much? You know, my sister said that. I never heard of that in my life. Yes.
Commander,
Hi.
permission to approach, Commander.
Oh, well, just give me a moment. Let me put this in the
Yes, ma'am.
system.
You can tell we're military. Okay.
All right, I'm sorry, counsel, in front of you, the person who's picking a jury.
Oh, yes, Judge.
Yes, you're doing jury selection?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your client in custody?
No, which one?
Anthony Villarreal?
Yeah, he's right here, Judge.
Anthony Villarreal, if you'll come forward, please.
That's my client. That's since there are two on the docket.
He has an aggravated robbery, evading arrest, detention vehicle, and burglary of a habitation.
That's a different one, burglary of the habitation only, by assault,
Oh, you're only on the burglary of a habitation?
assault. There should only be, there must be two.
Yeah, there's two different, so my client's in custody.
Ah. So there are two Anthony Villarreals.
Yeah,
I
think
believe
that's
so.
what's
That's
going
what it sounds like.
All
yeah.
right, so are you the Anthony Villarreal? Normally, so you're the Anthony Villarreal with the burglary of the habitation?
Assault, yes,
All
correct.
right, thank you. You may step out.
Good too.
Oh. Oh, that's okay. I mean, what are we to do? It's two names. All right. So, you're in jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, which court?
186.
And I asked, not that I don't believe that you're in jury trial, but I do. But I like to put everything down in the notes so people will say Charles Gold was in jury trial. That's why we couldn't do a jury trial. So you were supposed to have your jury trial today, but can't have it because he's already in trial.
Mhm.
And can't be, in the words of the poet, he can't be in two places at the same time. All right, so Ms. Ferguson, what are you trying, counselor?
Right now is a decency. trial.
Okay. So Norma, if you recall this for January 6th. Okay,
Judge, I think that week, I'm supposed to be heading out, I'm off that week. Remember
Okay.
to the 11th, I think the 13th is my daughter's getting married.
oh.
Yeah, my daughter getting wet, so I have to do
You
it.
have to remember that.
I do. January the 11th is that she's getting married.
All right,
So-
and do you need to be there or your checkbook just needs to be
Both.
there?
My money and she probably just wants my money though.
Well, you know, they say that Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence's daughter is marrying Eddie Murphy's son. And so they're joking about it because Martin Lawrence like, you have more money than I do. You should be paying for this wedding. And then Snoop Dogg's daughter is getting married.
Really?
And he said, here's $1 million. That's all you're getting for your wedding.
That's it, huh?
That's it. So I'm sure you wrote a check. Here's $1 million. That's all you're getting.
No, nothing like that.
We can recall it for the 13th.
If we do.
21st?
21st? Yes, sounds a lot better.
All right. 21st for jury trial.
Thank
Once you
you.
sign the reset form, you excuse. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank
All right. And counsel, just give me one more moment.
Patient guys, we're in standby.
Oh.
We're hovering.
As long as you're not running out of gas. Okay, this one, they're not ready on. That goes with another defendant.
Yes.
And then this is the chief of Aragon. And then who do you have?
Mine is Brenda Carpenter, Your Honor.
All right, so once they pull the file, then I'll take it up.
Yes,
Carpenter? I don't have it. I have Anthony Villarreal up here, but I don't have a Carpenter.
it's the one where the continue. Do you want another copy of that? Okay, here, sorry.
Ah, all righty, found. That's my fault. And what page is Anthony Villarreal on? The 4216? All right, thank you. All right, Brenda Carpenter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is she here?
Yes, she is, Judge.
Come up, please.
Miss Kristen Molnar, she said for me to tell you that she's in a suppression motion for a couple hours in the 437. And I told her that I was going to inform the court that and announce not ready because I just got discovery over the weekend, Judge, tapes and other things and insufficient
Okay, I
business
don't
record.
understand what the issue that's going on with discovery.
I don't know, Judge. All I know is that we received it on Saturday, Your Honor. So,
Mhm.
and it's very intense. So I would never be dilatory, Judge. I don't, yeah. So I want Your Honor to know, I take this very.
No, I know it's not your fault or you. All right, Norma, recall this for the 21st then,
21st.
January.
Okay, Judge. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, thank
Have
you.
a happy Christmas, Your Honor.
Oh,
Thank you for always being professional. Thank you for helping. I salute you.
oh, thank you
Okay.
so much.
Okay.
Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
you.
Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
And counsel,
Yes, Judge.
I'm not going to charge that motion for continuance to you because I don't think you should have to have a motion for continuance when it's because you have not received discovery.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Thank you. And I hope you feel better now. Thank you for the comments.
And Norma, what page is Carpenter on? Thank you. All right, what case does Gary Churick have on the docket today?
That's Jose Lopez, page 6.
All right, so can I see that one? And also if I could see Joseph Smith. And Joseph Smith was actually trying to zoom in. And the other attorney who had someone zooming in, they're in the waiting room. Okay. And to the state, my understanding, Gary Churick is out sick. All right, Norma, so on Joseph Smith, recall that for December 16th. And Jose Lopez, also December 16th. Yes. And Deputy Mejia, is one of those persons in custody? If they are, could you bring them up so I can let them know what's going on? Yes, please. All right, State Joseph Jefferson Smith, he was to appear by Zoom, but he didn't receive the correct Zoom link because we had to difficulties. But his attorney is ill, so that's being recalled for December 16th. And then for Jose Roberto Lopez, same attorney, so to be coming back on December 16th. Morning. Just give me a moment. All right, thank you.
Yes. Thanks.
Joshua Anzadua.
Judge.
Pull this up. All right, so who's the prosecutor on this one? So supposedly a pending murder case or something?
I think we never really got a clear answer. So detectives definitely talked to him, but if there's no charges coming down, I really don't want to keep holding it up. I mean, it sounds like he may possibly be witness, but I don't have
Okay,
anything.
so
to
we
show
need
that
a
he's
jury
upset.
trial.
That's what I'm thinking, Judge.
All right. And I'm assuming you're not ready today.
No, and I'll tell you, I'm out the last 2 days this week. I have to
Okay.
do the mandatory max CLE, and then I have to do the mandatory juvenile law CLE. And I have a doctor's appointment Wednesday, so it's gonna make it very hard
No
to
problem.
get this in this week.
All right, Norma, I need a jury trial date on Anzadua for January.
No,
No,
it's
criminal trial
regular.
division.
Yeah.
All right, and he needs to be brought over dressed.
We'll get them close. I don't know if we got you close yet or not. I'll just start your file.
All right, so and I need the acknowledgements of discovery done if that hasn't been done.
We'll do, Judge. He's remanded without on one case and filed a motion to set bond. I think it's still working its way through the e-filing system.
All right, if y'all are ready to proceed on it, we can proceed on it.
We're ready to go. I mean, he got remanded due to a subsequent arrest. We're just asking the court set some kind of bond.
All right, which case is that on?
Give me just a second, Judge. I'm trying to find it for you. You remember which one it was off the top of your head? What you filed, thing, and can pull up. Was he evading? Yeah, I think you're right, actually. It was an evading arrest, Judge, evading arrest in a motor vehicle case, Your Honor.
All right. Well, we have two evading arrests. Well, we have the evading arrest detention second or more,
I believe it was the one in the vehicle.
the vehicle.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, are you ready to proceed on this motion?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. The whole website's down. Okay, I mean, it's still.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 3794 State versus Joshua Anzadua. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Megan Galloway for the state.
Adam LaHood for the defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Joshua Anzadua?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense has filed a motion to have bond set in this, but of course, with e-discovery, it is somewhere in the ether, yes. Or in the time continuum, somewhere lost. Any objection to proceeding on the motion orally state? All right. So defense, you're requesting a bond?
We are, Judge. He was on bond, and then there was a subsequent arrest, a case which we tried to resolve via plea, but I think we're headed to trial on it. Due to the subsequent arrest, he was remanded without bond, which would make it impossible for him, obviously, to be released from custody. We're asking the court to either reinstate the bond or set some bond in some amount that gives him any chance. Obviously, while he's remanded without, he just simply has no opportunity at all to post a bond, Judge. And for that reason, we're asking the court to set a reasonable bond in this case.
All right. And what amount are you requesting?
Your Honor, due to, and it is without the bond, and just so we're clear, it's in the cause number ending in 3794. Previously, I believe his bond was 10,000. 10,000. We understand there's consequences for the rest, Judge. We would be okay if the court set a bond at 20,000, which would essentially be double what the previous amount was.
State?
Judge, we request a $50,000 bond, given that original charge, the offense date was November 23rd of 2023. There were multiple other subsequent the subsequent arrest, but it's multiple offenses that stemmed out of that additional arrest, and for that, and because of the criminal history as well, that is the reason that we.
All right, what is the defendant's criminal history?
Sentenced on a possession of controlled substance, PD 124 grams.
And what date was that? Or the date of the offense?
Offense date was in 2019. He was awarded probation in that, but ultimately he was sentenced in 2020.
All right, and the cases that he has open in this court? What,
Judge, he does have one more case that he was sentenced on.
Mhm.
It is a bird have intent to commit assault. That offense date was in 2020, January of 2020, and he was sentenced September of 2020. The offenses that he has pending in this court include the instant offense, the evading arrest.
please make sure that's off. Yes, you may continue.
With the vehicle, 2 assault peace officers, 1 possession controlled substance, PG 124, an evading detention, the second and more, theft. Well, then he has 2 misdemeanors pending, a theft 100, 750, and criminal mischief 100.
All right. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Joshua Antaldua.
All right. Sir, have you ever been diagnosed with any mental health issues?
Manic schizophrenic,
All right, and have you ever received medication for that?
currently on medication right now for,
All right. And then if you were released, do you have a place to live?
yes, ma'am.
And that place where you would be living, is that equipped with a landline phone?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any children?
A 2-year-old, I believe, that I just barely found out about.
All right. Has there ever been any drug use in your past?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what would that be?
Methamphetamine,
And how often in your past were you using?
occasionally,
What does occasionally mean?
almost every day.
All right. Any questions from either side?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Do you want to question him about the amount of bond he can make? Yeah. All right. Who has that phone? All right. Do you know how to turn it off?
I'll assist in that.
All right. Thank you so much. They keep coming out with newfangled ways with the phones, and it's hard to know how to turn them off. Do you want to question him with regards to the amount of bond he can make?
Yes, Judge. So, Mr. Antaldua, are you working right now?
Not at the moment due to incarceration
Okay. Before you were incarcerated, where were you working?
at Garcia Foundation
And how much were you making? Either were you paid by the hour, by the day?
by the day,
How much are you making per day?
$80 a day.
$80 a day?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to go back and work there if you are released?
More than likely.
More than likely, okay. What, do you have any substantial savings right now?
Not at the moment.
What about family, mother, father, brother, sister, people that could assist you?
Yes, mother.
Your mother? If you've talked to her, do you know roughly what total bond amount you could possibly make? Okay,
I will be able to make something.
okay. But you have talked to your mom about the possibility of getting out or her helping post bond?
Yes, sir.
All right, is your mom retired or working?
She's working.
Where does she work at?
She's a CNA.
CNA? Oh,
Yes,
like certified in nursing?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, any questions?
Just briefly, so when you were on bond previously, was it your mother who posted your $10,000 bond originally? Okay, who was that?
My girlfriend.
And you said that your mother works, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And has she made any efforts to secure bonds in any of the other cases where bond was set?
No, ma'am.
And I guess if you're released, are you gonna be living with your mother?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that in a house or an apartment?
A house.
Does she own that house?
Yes.
And how long has she lived at that residence?
About 3 years.
Nothing further. Your Honor.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to set your bond at $30,000. There's to be partial GPS. The court will waive fees. And the partial is for employment and mental health appointments. I'm going to do a referral to Center for Healthcare Services. Outpatient treatment. Outpatient drug treatment. Waive fees.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you can make sure that he has a reset form, please. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a second.
Who's here on Randy Wayne Folsom?
But we have Jose Lopez too.
You want to speak to him?
Oh, yes, let me speak to him. Mr. Lopez, your attorney is ill, so we're bringing you back on December 16th. That's Monday, okay?
That's it, all that.
No, we have to wait for your attorney and he's out ill. So we'll bring you back on the 16th. If he's able to come sooner than that, we'll have you brought over sooner than that. But at the latest, it will be Monday.
I can't say nothing else like.
I wouldn't recommend that without your attorney being present. All right, thank you. You're welcome. All right, Randy Folsom.
Yes.
All right, so he has two cases. He has,
Yes, Your Honor.
oh, sorry, he just has one, or is he Ruben Gonzalez as well?
No, Ruben Gonzalez is another.
All right,
Yes, sir.
it was stuck together.
No problem, Your Honor.
All right, so on Mr. Folsom, where are we on this case?
Yes, Judge. In reviewing the discovery more thoroughly, I noticed that there was outstanding blood discovery. He did consent to a breathalyzer, however, that was a deficient sample. And then they did draw his blood, Judge. So I did show the states the amended standing blood discovery order for Texas DPS. They have no opposition to me tendering to the court, Your Honor. If I may.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes.
And I'll go ahead and make a copy and give one to the state too, so they can request the judge. We'll be requesting a reset for these records.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Give me a reset for this in 45 days. If it's back sooner than that, Mr. Folsom will bring you back sooner than that. But sometimes it takes a while with the blood discovery. What date?
Sounds good.
All right, so we'll bring you back on January 23rd.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything else?
Nothing further from defense, Judge.
All right, thank you. State, you may be excused. What page is Folsom on? All right, thank you. Ruben Gonzalez.
Also present on his matter.
All right, so where are we on PTD?
Yes, Your Honor. We have the generated contract and he has signed So we're gonna send that in today and wait for the orientation to be conducted, Judge.
All right, I need a PTD date. What date? All right, we're gonna bring you back on January 16th.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All
Upon
right.
doing the discovery request, I mean, the reset form, may he be excused, Judge?
Yes, and thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Of course, you're a beautiful lady.
Oh,
Let's do so for you.
thank you. You've made my day. Lindsay Hernandez.
Present, Your Honor.
Hello.
Yes.
All right, so where are we on this case?
Yes, Your Honor. My client recently got out of inpatient drug treatment just a couple of days ago,
Mhm.
and she's doing much better. I'm happy to report to the court. We did get a revised plea offer, Judge, that she wants to consider strongly. If we can get one setting for us to talk about the nature of that plea. She is scheduled for a appointment with Center for Healthcare Services on December 12th as well, Judge.
All right, so we're gonna recall this back on December 16th.
Your Honor, I have a vacation letter on file. I wanted to see if possible. We can
What
maybe do
date?
early January, if that fits the courts.
All right, when is your vacation time?
It's December the 11th, Judge. I'll be out until the new year, unfortunately.
All right, Norma, bring this back on January 6th. You need to make sure that you stay on track, that you stay clean and sober, because the holidays are very stressful for people. Don't be around anyone who's drinking or anyone who's stopping you from going to your appointments. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, good luck to you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for
Thank
court.
you.
Thank you.
And Norma, that's a plea deadline date. And what page is she on? Thank you. All right, who's here on John Anthony Ramirez? All right, so we're here for an update.
Yes, Your Honor, that's
So
correct.
how is he doing?
I think under circumstances fairly well, Judge. He's had some missed tests and things of that nature. However, without getting into too much detail regarding his medical situation, he does have problems with his memory, maybe the onset of early dementia, Alzheimer's. He's getting medical treatment for, Judge. So I mean, he notified me of that, and we're speaking that he had some of the missed tests, right?
Yes. So Judge, he has been reporting to his officer as necessary. However, he is not reporting to submit to his urinalysis. And we did set him up with a couple of appointments to start the dual diagnosis outpatient program in which he mandated the last time he was here in court. And he has failed to attend the intake for those. So we're asking that we possibly give him one more chance and making sure that he attends the intake and starts to submit his UAs.
All right, let me ask you this. Where is the intake? Where does that take place at, the intake?
7 months now.
All right, can you see, because I don't want to punish somebody if it's dementia issues or some other type of mental health issues that is stopping this. But I am concerned that he reports, but he doesn't do these other things. That's an issue for the court. So do you know if they're available to see him today?
There are specific days that the intake happens. I will double check if you give me a moment to.
All right, we're gonna see if they're available to see him today
Yes, Your Honor.
and if he's available to do a UA today.
Yes, Your Honor. I don't think that would be an issue because he stated that he has a appointment with his probation officer today after court. But he was gonna make that appointment, so I don't foresee any issue with him UA and judge and
See,
obviously.
this is what I don't understand then. Sir, I don't understand how you know you have an appointment with probation and you make that, but then you don't make your other appointments. It sounds to me as though maybe you're not gonna be clean.
No, this is hard for me, I fully take for.
But how do you remember your probation officer's date when you need to see your probation officer? That's what I'm not understanding.
When I write it down, when it comes to me, I put it down on the refrigerator.
So why are you not writing down your other appointments and placing
I
them on the
do
refrigerator?
remember, I just don't know where left them, man. You know, I looked at my phone.
All right, I don't understand this. So, yes,
I recommended for him to keep a schedule and to constantly view that and to adopt that practice, and his sister is able to maybe help him, remind him. I know it's his life and he shouldn't be leaning as much on family members because he has to take responsibility for himself, but I was recommending those things that he can make his appointments with, and I notified him that he needs to make those appointments as mandated by the court, because if not, he could be ending up in an orange jumpsuit like that behind bars if he's not taking the probation matter seriously. And he stated he's gonna work on those things, and he said it's an issue regarding forgetfulness, but we're gonna work on those things to combat that, Judge.
all right, let's do this. Let's see if they have a date available today. And if they don't, we're gonna see what date they give me.
Okay.
And if he misses another appointment and I don't have any documentation that there is a mental health issue related to that,
Yes, Your Honor.
one or two things are gonna happen. One, he's gonna end up having to do the appointment at the Bexar County Jail, which means you're gonna be in custody, or a motion to revoke is gonna be filed. So have a seat, and we're gonna see what date they can give you. And you're gonna have a date before you leave here today. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then I'll give you a reset date for you all to come back to court.
Definitely, Your Honor. And then once I confer with probation and get a date, can I reapproach at that time?
Yes,
Great, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Raymond Alejandro. All right, so are you ready to proceed on this?
We would like to get a day to respond, Judge. I
Okay.
was gonna file a response on this.
Okay,
Um,
Judge, I'm sorry. No, I was interrupting. Go ahead.
If the court is willing to entertain my arguments now, or would the court prefer a written motion?
And
oh, however you all want to present it.
I would ask for orderly, the 30-day deadline, I think is gonna be tomorrow, so we're trying to
All right,
work that. We did get an investigator who's willing to help if the court.
all right, Norma,
proceeds.
if you'll have Mr. Raymond Alejandro, because I'm assuming he's still at the jail.
He's not. He's been transferred to TDC.
All right, Norma, are you able to have Mr. Raymond Alejandro see if possibly tomorrow? I know it's late. All they can do is say no. Nothing hurts a failure but a try. So if you'll call the prison and see if he can be available by phone, and I can recall this for tomorrow.
And I understand, Judge. I just, then if we, even if we get the information tomorrow, we'll have a few hours to work it and try to get the court in motion for new trial.
Okay.
Okay, sure. And if Mr. Alejandro is not able to be present by phone, would the court still?
If there's not gonna be any objections to his not being present.
Okay.
All right. Eric Kelly.
Present judge,
Yes.
along with Mr. Campbell.
All right, today is plea deadline date. So are you all requesting jury trial?
It looked that way. You don't want to accept the state's offer, right? No, sir. No, sir.
All right, you want a jury trial?
Yes, please, ma'am.
All righty. We may or may not be in trial on something else today, but I can recall it for tomorrow for trial.
Judge, when we talked about this date, the last
Yeah.
time we were here, I told you I'm not even supposed to be here today, so
Yeah.
I won't be here tomorrow.
Are you on the aggravated robbery?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we have a unavailability notice on file for months now from the December 9th to January 9th.
From December 9th to January 9th?
Right.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date. This is criminal trial division. All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, you're welcome. And state, if you can make sure that an acknowledgement of discovery has been completed. Charles Claycomb.
President Graves, not here.
All right.
I don't have any contact with him.
All right, Deputy, if you can make an announcement for Charles A. Claycomb. Council, do you know if this was a PR bond or was it a commercial bond?
I don't know. I know he was, when he was booked, he was like homeless and then he had like infectious diseases and then the case was filed at large instead of arrest.
Okay,
So
well, do you want to have time to perhaps see if you can locate him or you want to proceed with the hearing?
I think just proceed.
All right, Norma, on this case, is it a PR bond or a commercial bond? Because it's not showing on my system. It says bond made, but it doesn't show if it was a PR bond or a commercial bond.
If there is a commercial bond, I mean, I could use a day or two to call them and maybe,
Okay,
but is it?
all right,
Okay,
all right, so you want to see about doing that first?
yeah, I'll do that.
Because I see in the report, there's some mental health issues as
Yeah.
well. All right. Then what we'll do is we'll recall this. Are you going to be here on the 12th? That's a Thursday.
Yeah, I think so. Hold on. Oh, sounds good. Let me look, if you don't mind.
No problem.
Yes.
All right, Norma, if you'll recall this for December 12th.
All right. Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
We don't want to, but they say.
What page is Colcom on? All right, thank you. Page 4, Claycomb? No. He's not on page 4. Yes. On my page 4, I have Eric. I don't have that docket. All right, can I get an updated docket, please? This is the only one I have. Arturo Villanueva?
Hi, Judge. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is on. We have conferred with the state on this matter, Your Honor. We have not come to an agreement on it, and that's where we're at.
All right, we're calling up a jury then.
I do have I'm ready pending my motions, which I have filed, and I have conferred with the state on them.
Okay.
So whenever the court's ready on that, on those pretrial matters.
All right. What pretrial matters do you have? And if you can make sure that there's a copy given to the clerk so that I can review those.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Michael Cox. All right, so here's my question. The motions to revoke, have those been resolved?
Not yet. We're trying to work out a package deal on all cases, Your Honor. We're coming with a substantial amount of restitution up front on the new case.
Has it been paid?
I have the money. We need to come up with an amount because Mr. Edelman has not been able to contact the CW.
All right, that needs to be done today. This is going to be off the court's docket today. So whatever y'all need to do, go confer, go talk to whomever you need to talk to.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Megan Conacher. All right, and this is for sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 1309, State of Texas versus Megan Kathleen Conacher. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Lorraine Efren for Megan.
And are you Miss Conacher?
Conacher.
I know I keep mispronouncing your name. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Just give me one moment. All right. We're here for sentencing in this matter. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 8 years in the prison, and the state is silent on your application.
Well, I
Have-
think what it is, they're recommending probation, but silent on deferred.
That is correct. Thank
Okay,
you.
yeah, I want to make sure.
All
And I
right.
think it's kind of an unusual, I think it's a 7-year, an 8-year underlying with a 7-year rec.
All right, so have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state? Defense, any objection to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor.
Have both parties had a chance to review the TAP evaluation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the TAP evaluation?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Then the state is silent on the application for a deferred adjudication. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor. I guess I would like the court to note that her mom is here in support. And I have some things I'd like to urge on her behalf. She may want to say a few words.
All right, so I'm looking at her criminal history. She's been on deferred adjudication before. And that deferred adjudication was revoked. And she was given 44 days in the Bexar County Jail with the judgment satisfied. And so why should I grant her deferred adjudication? She's been given deferred before.
I understand, Judge. Megan's come a long way and she's still in process. She's suffered a lot of trauma over her life and her childhood. And then was kind of deep in her addiction, which led to this offense. Since then, she has begun counseling and is sober.
Yes.
And she feels like the counseling that she's engaging in right now is very helpful to her.
I'm also on medication now.
And she would greatly value the opportunity to avoid a felony conviction if possible. Due to her age and circumstances in life, it could be really important for her not to have that felony conviction. Although we did talk at length about it, and you can see it's kind of an unusual deal for us to come like this, but and we're appreciative of the probation. She just would like an opportunity, if she could, to prove herself and to avoid the conviction. And she has an appointment with her counselor this Wednesday, in fact.
Just one moment. Excuse me, no talking behind the court reporter. All right, you may continue.
Okay. And did you want to say?
Just that when I was offered deferred the first
You want to
time.
raise your right hand?
Sorry.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Megan Kinnicker.
All right, you may proceed.
When I got put on deferred adjudication the last time, I was very young and I was freshly new into my addiction and didn't know as much as I know about myself now. And I wasn't willing to do the work that I am willing to do now.
All right, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Who is Tyree Ranford?
He's the guy that I'd met at the bus stop who had the drugs.
So are you employed?
I work for an app called ShiftSmart.
And what do you do?
I go to different Circle Ks and I either clean the store or stock their walk-in freezer.
All right. Any other witnesses you want to call, Mom?
No.
So that I can have.
I didn't talk to the mom about testifying, but if she's here, I think she'd be willing to see if the court had any questions for her.
I do.
Okay. Oh, what's her name? Maureen Hannaford.
All right, the deputy is going to have you stand over there. All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Maureen Kemper.
All right, so I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
All right, I'm trying to make a decision on whether or not to give her a felony conviction or whether or not to give her deferred adjudication. So just before we start with my questions, I want you to know that your testimony, if I don't give her deferred, it's not your fault. If I
Okay.
do give her your deferred, so there is no need for you, every answer that you
Right.
give me is the correct answer. So is she currently living with you?
Yes.
All right. And when she was placed on deferred adjudication back in 2015, was she living with you or no?
Oh, yeah, no,
All right.
no.
So what is her daily routine like with you?
It varies. It depends on if she has a shift. If she has a shift, she's up and gone before I'm up because she has to take the bus.
Mhm.
Otherwise they're home. I mean, her daughter's at the house too. She's 14 and we're homeschooling. There's other issues with her daughter. It's just, either she goes to work or she's at the house, honestly.
You wake up, you make breakfast.
No,
What
I
ti-
wake up and run out the door to work.
Okay, what time do you normally wake up?
I'm up by like 5:30, 6
And
on a
what-
workday.
And what time are you out of the house?
I gotta be by 7 or I'm late for work.
Okay. And then Megan and her daughter, are they
home,
they're
yeah.
usually up or getting up?
Bella, not so much, but Megan, yeah, yeah.
All right. So when she was in her addiction in the past,
Mhm.
were you able to notice changes and could you tell that there were issues?
She wasn't at my house when she started that.
Okay.
I am a registered nurse and I have seen it. There are times when I've seen it, yes.
All right. So you would
In the
be able to
past.
know if there's some issues if she were falling off her schedule.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right. And if she were to fall off her schedules,
And she's
Would-
out of my house.
all right. Well, before she's out of your house, would you be willing to contact probation?
Oh, yeah, if
All right.
that's what you want me to do, absolutely.
And what I can tell you, this defense counsel will tell you that if someone has a mental health issue, if they have a drug issue, my goal when they're placed on probation is to help them with that and help them stay on track. Of course, if they're not doing their part, then sometimes there's nothing I can do for them but send them to prison. So I will want to alleviate any fears that you have that sometimes parents may have. Oh, I can't tell probation because my child will go to prison.
Man, I'm a registered nurse. I can't have it in my house.
Okay,
I can't.
so you'll let us know?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Well, I guess I would, if I'm.
Sure.
Does it appear to you she's doing better now?
Oh, yeah. 100%. I mean, she has lived with, so she was very good right before COVID, right? And we actually went through getting her daughter away from her dad because that was a big thing. And she did great. She actually homeschooled her daughter and my other granddaughter because she was the only one that got furloughed. She did wonderfully all through that. Then she kind of slid a little bit after that. And then she left. And so, yeah,
So she had a pretty bad relapse. She was out there,
right.
but now she's doing better.
Yes.
Does she appear clearer to you?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I can tell. I can tell. When she's eating me out of house and home, I know she's good.
Is she eating you out?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, I love that. Thank you.
The truth.
So I
Thank you
love
so
it.
much.
I think we all know that's a good
Any
sign.
questions, State?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. If you'll come forward. So according to the TAP evaluation, I think they're recommending DDRF. Is that correct?
I did see that rec for the DDRF and Mick.
And it's
Your analysis after and silver support.
I'm sorry.
Monthly your analysis and silver support.
And
All right. Are you currently receiving mental health treatment?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is that with?
Right side?
do you have your phone with you?
Yeah.
Would you mind if we showed the appointment on her phone?
Oh, no, she just will need to give it to
Okay.
probation.
She has some information on her phone if the court would care to see it.
No. She'll need to show it to probation.
Okay.
So probation, I'm thinking we'll start with, since she's already receiving treatment through Brightside, you're gonna have to sign a release so that probation can have that and they'll know when your appointments are. DDRF, that's in custody. So you need to make sure that you stay on track with everything.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication. There's to be no contact with Tyree, Tyree, Ranford, Ranford. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, MIC caseload, continued treatment with right side, field visits 1 time per month for 6 months, 120 sober meetings in 120 days, $1,500 fine, that will be probated, 200 hours of community service restitution. What is your dream job?
Dual diagnosis substance abuse counselor.
Okay. If you are able to do that and complete it and obtain your certification, the court will deem the community service hours satisfied.
Okay.
Probation, is there anything else? I'm sorry, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Anything else, probation? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record in this courtroom and state your excuse. In this courtroom, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you have an issue, you need to let probation know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court. You're going to need to sign those releases so probation can make sure that you're keeping up with your appointments at Brightside. Do you understand? Do you have any questions about anything? All right, just wait in the courtroom and probation will go over conditions for you.
In your honor, I thought the misdemeanor was being TIC'd on this.
Let me check and see. Yes, and taking consideration 707107.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Does that mean I have to report on it now? No, they'll get this.
Yes. Two. Yes, it's just the possession.
They need to be moved to the side, because the interpreter needs to talk to them. When the judge is on the record, she doesn't want anybody speaking with them. So you can move them to the side, on top.
Counsel, you ready?
May I reapproach Judge on John Ramirez?
Yes.
Deputy, these two gentlemen at the end. Need to go on top.
Yes.
He's present, Judge, and in reference to his matter, the probation did inform us that he is scheduled for a intake appointment for outpatient services, 8:00 a.m. for tomorrow.
All right, so if you do not make probation on John Ramirez, if he doesn't make that appointment for tomorrow, file a motion to revoke. All right. Do you have any questions?
I'll make it. Duly noted. We've discussed the importance of that meeting, and he's definitely going to be there, Judge, and follow all the instructions of the court.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Nothing further, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes.
Can you give me?
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Are you? Thank you.
Huh?
Just completely.
Yes.
Excuse me, y'all have dimmed the lights.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's okay. And we've gone back down. Michonne. I'm waiting for the hors d'oeuvres to be served now. Karen Munoz.
Luis Alex Martinez and Christopher Joshua.
All right, hi.
Hi.
All right, so are you all ready to proceed?
Ready, Ron.
Could I have a file stamp for a motion to revoke? And could I have another sheet because there's no room left on this sheet? All right, thank you. All right, did you do a trial court certification?
Well, she's not taking a plea today or anything. She already was continued, but there was an issue about her signing up for Esperanza Court. So you
Oh.
wanted to see. her.
Ah, okay. Did she sign up?
Judge, so we completed the motion to revoke the last.
No, Your Honor, she hasn't. She says that she hasn't been a prostitute of any kind for over 7 to 8 years. She didn't feel that it was something that was really appropriate for her. So she didn't sign.
All right. Ms. Abrams? So where are we sending her?
There wasn't.
She just, even when she was accepted into Esperanza Court, she said she just wanted to go back to her and the judge and possibly take her time.
All right. So you just want to take your time? Because let me just tell you, either you're going to Esperanza Court or you're going into somebody's inpatient treatment at the jail.
Did want to point this out to the judge. Looks like there was a TAP evaluation done. I think that's recently. I'm sure the date, but since for NTR.
All right.
And I don't know, there's a recommendation in there.
Yeah, it's a state ISF inpatient treatment. So do you want to talk to her because she's saying that she just wants to do her time?
Well, I don't know. I talked to her and she didn't tell me that. She sounded like she wasn't sure.
All right, so here's the thing. You're either going to ISF, and if you don't sign for it, a motion to revoke is going to be filed. You want to speak to her about that?
I
This is-
could, but I was wondering if I could recall it for tomorrow to do
No,
that.
this is getting completed today.
Well, yeah, I've got to go to another court.
All right,
before
this is
close.
being completed today.
What do you want to do?
I was just confused that you say that, communication is the key. It's too hard to communicate when
All
you're.
right, let me just tell you, here's the communication. You were scheduled to go to Esperanza Court.
Okay,
You have said, oh, I don't qualify for Esperanza Court. So Esperanza Court is off the table. You're going to go to ISF. It's an inpatient treatment facility.
mhm.
Now, probation has informed me that you no longer want to be on probation. That's fine. If you want to just go do some time and be done, you
I
can.
do want to be on probation.
So I'm hoping that there's no issue with communication. So here are your two choices. You can sign for ISF today. If you don't want to sign for it, that's fine. A motion to revoke is going to be filed. We will hear that motion today. Those are your two choices. So discuss that with your attorney. Thank you. Eduardo Reyes.
You were taken into the back.
Yes, he's supposed to be dressed for trial.
Oh, okay. He is saying that I'm not his lawyer, that he doesn't want me to be his attorney. I don't know if we need another competency hearing or not, but this is where we are at.
All right, we'll be back at trial at 1:30.
1:30.
Yes.
Okay.
Jordan Davis. Yes. All right, where's Jordan Davis?
He's coming out, Your Honor.
Hi. All righty, he's scheduled for jury trial.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I spoke to the state and I e-filed a verified motion for continuance.
Mhm.
I'm starting a trial on the 226 with Andrew Loon, Your Honor. Yeah.
Okay, and when is that starting?
We're starting on Wednesday, Judge.
And what charge is that?
It's aggravated sexual assault of an elderly.
Oh, okay. All right, are you gonna have any objections to this motion for continuance?
No.
All right, I'll grant your motion for continuance. All right, Norma, I need a jury trial date, criminal trial division. It should be relatively short. It's in, all right, January 21st.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you are excused. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Yes.
Real quick, sorry
Yes.
to bother you.
No problem. It's not a bother.
Well, I spoke to my client and she would like to do Esperanza Court.
No, that's off the table.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
You're welcome. Walter Davies. Let's hear for Walter Davies. All right, come forward. Hello, Mr. Davies. I'm doing okay. So were you able to hire an attorney?
Yes, ma'am. Fox, Stephen Fox.
I'm sorry, who is it?
Fox, Mr. Fox.
What's the
Stephen-
first name?
Stephen.
Stephen Fox?
Yes, ma'am. And tomorrow, I'm getting money and.
Norma. Does anybody know an attorney, Stephen Fox?
Is it John Fox?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but let me see.
Or I talked to him.
And that attorney is here in San Antonio?
Kerrville, I believe, is that a Kerrville?
Kerrville?
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
Ah, Stephen D. Fox. Okay. And when are you speaking with him?
I talked to him yesterday and today and get with him more and getting me some money, so.
All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this, recall it for January 6th.
Thank you, Judge. My grandfather was Walter Davies. He held the longest tenure of any county judge in Lebanon County.
Oh, wow. That's good to know.
Yeah.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused. And thank you so much for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, just hanging out, sorry, just on your way.
Hardy. Brent Hardy. Michael Cox. Who's the attorney for Michael Cox?
Austin Hague, Your Honor.
Karen Munoz, are you all ready? All right. Mario Inaosa.
I don't believe he's been sworn in. Okay. I apologize.
Morning. Good morning. Is this an application?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, just give me a moment because
Your Honor.
probation needs to be able to hear and they're conferring at the
Yes, Your Honor.
moment. So I'll call you up as soon as she's available.
Yes, Your Honor.
Brennan Short.
She's in custody, maybe.
Yes.
Judge, we have worked out an agreement.
Mhm.
And I think I've sought the court's advice before. I think he's in federal custody and they don't do Zoom pleas.
No, they do not.
Judge, he's been I mean, I've sent it on my part to the clerk. And Andy Gutierrez said she's out today.
Okay.
But I have emails confirming that she's in the process of ordering him back from federal custody.
I had a conference with my client on Friday, Judge, and I told him they may grab him this weekend. He was not aware of anything as of Friday.
All right, Norma. Let's recall this for January 25th. If they bring him over sooner, then we can have him back sooner.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Mhm. What page is Short on? Christopher Charles Joshua.
Your Honor, present. Client is on Zoom, Judge.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Have you all come to an agreement?
Your Honor, we have, the state has, offered pretrial diversion to Mr. Joshua's case. He submitted his application on the last court date. To my knowledge, he's been accepted, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, I need a date for PTD, and Mr. Joshua, you need to show your video. Thank you. All right, what date? All right, we're gonna come back on January 16th. I'll allow your client to appear by Zoom. And Mr. Joshua, when next you're on screen, you're not to have that item on your head. You understand?
Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, is there anything else?
There's nothing else, Judge. I know Mr. Joshua. Mr. Joshua, I'll give you a call this afternoon, sir. Yes,
All right.
sir.
You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. What page is he on? Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry? I'm sorry, for which one? All right. Just give me a moment on that. Karen Munoz? Yes, 75 this afternoon.
Not that one, Judge.
Oh, okay.
The one that the new granite that you were gonna do.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm ready on that one.
All right. Mario Inosa? Court is calling 2024 CR 009532. State of Texas versus Mario Inosa. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Joseph Acevedo for the defense.
And are you Mr. Inosa?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Inosa, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the court admonishments and defendant's waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with evading arrest, detention, and vehicle? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Do you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into this plea agreement? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Believe he does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Believe he is.
Mr. Inosa, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at a $2,000 fine, and the state is recommending deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense. I'm sorry, outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? All right, then now to the offenses charge. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
State offers states exhibit number 1 and attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
If the court will permit, if the TAP evaluation were to recommend inpatient, that we be able to approach the court on that.
Yes.
Thank you. Then yes.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, other than recognizes his failure to, or that he had a lapse in judgment and understands it. And he's asking the court to follow the plea agreement and believes he can comply with all the terms and conditions and be compliant with the court.
All right, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I work for a Bear Oil company. That's the name, Bear Oil.
Okay.
I'm a driver.
All right. So Purgatory Bar, how often have you been there?
I've been there a couple of times.
All right, so you're not going to be allowed to go there anymore.
Okay.
And I guess there was a altercation or discussion,
Yeah,
maybe an intoxicated discussion between you and someone else.
they accused me of taking their keys,
Mhm.
and their keys were in their car at the time, the whole time. So that's how everything escalated from that point.
Do you have any children?
No.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to a $2,000 fine. That will be probated, 3 years deferred adjudication, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs, out of custody, there's to be a TAP evaluation. There's to be no contact with Purgatory Bar at 1010 North Main Avenue. There's going to be 120 sober meetings in 120 days. Field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. And there's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because I waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record in this court. To be successful, communication is key. If there's an issue, let your probation officer know about it. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes. Yes. Jesse Vega. Court is calling 2024 CR 4332, State of Texas versus Jesse Vega Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Michael J. Sawyer.
And are you Mr. Vega?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me just see where you're on the docket. There we are. Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Vega, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm sorry, just one moment. I do not have there it is. Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Any objection?
None, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the court admonishments and defendant's waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with evading arrest detention with a vehicle? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Vega, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 8 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine and no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled, the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal? Paragraph with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
Done, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
State any evidence.
State offers states exhibit number 1 attachments.
Defense has no objection.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 8 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because
ma'am.
this is a felony conviction. You're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
38.
All right, at some point, you're gonna find that you spent a majority of your life in prison. You're gonna have to make a decision. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, so I'll have my excuse.
Yes, thank you. Good
Have a
seeing you.
day.
Israel Cortez.
Morning, Judge President.
Yes. Yes.
Good morning, Judge. Also a verified motion for continuance on Mr. Cortez. I spoke to Mr. Garahan last week.
Mhm.
For some reason, Judge, even though I was appointed on November 13th, 2024, Mr. Garahan still showed another attorney as the attorney of record. So I think that may have prevented me from getting all the discovery. I'm gonna check the index though and make sure I have everything, but I believe it's been corrected now. And I'm reflected as the attorney of record on Mr. Cortez's case.
Okay, and that's for the murder case, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I know that he is starting trial in the 226, but I am not going to sign his motion for continuance because it's not really his fault that he hasn't received all of the discovery, and it's not the state's fault.
Yes.
So I'm not going to charge either of you with a motion for continuance for this.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I know we were scheduled for a jury trial today, with selection being on the 10th. But that being said, have you all discussed when this should be going to trial, as far as when everybody would be ready? I know we have murder cases coming up.
I mean, I haven't discussed it with Mr. Plus, let's see. I believe it probably, it's gonna obviously be after the first of the year, if not probably. I know we have a capital in February, so I think this might be pushed sometime in March.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring this back on December 19th. And that's to make sure you have all of your discovery and there are no more issues with it being uploaded to Odyssey. And then on that day, we'll pick a jury trial date.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. And do you keep coming back with new tattoos? All right, so no, your attorney will probably tell you, probably no more facial tattoos before trial. Okay.
They're all the same one from like 5 years ago.
Okay. All right. I have no problem with tattoos, but yeah, he knows what I'm speaking about. All right, so we'll come back on December 19th.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Morning, Judge.
Morning. Hi, Hunter, how's it going? Oh, all right, what page is Cortez on? All right, thank you. John Paul Pena. All right. So is this scheduled for trial today?
It was the trial docket, maybe a week ago, and it was called back, I think so, yes. But he
Oh.
has an unindicted family violence case, but I think that's gonna get resolved.
All right, so I'll see y'all back at 1:30. Are y'all ready on Karen Munoz yet? All right. Luis Alec Martinez. All right, we're here for discovery and any immigration issues. Are there immigration issues?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
We do have some outstanding discovery issues, Judge.
All right, so the immigration issues have been addressed.
Yes, I believe so. We're still, I have just gotten NCIC, TCIC for the complaining witnesses, Your Honor. Based on the names and dates of birth given, there might be issues with that, but neither the state nor the defense knows.
So
for
you're a
sure.
citizen?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay.
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
All right, so what are their discovery?
Table of contents generated by the investigator assigned to this case makes reference to text messages that do not seem to have been produced to the state and then disclosed to the defense. So I need to get with that investigator and make sure that if he does in fact have.
Yes, Your Honor. There might also be voice recordings from the detective to the complaining witnesses. This was done over phone call. There might be videos because the complaining witnesses came in. And there might be possible copies of any checks, given this is a theft case.
All right, Norman, recall this for January 27th for discovery.
Thank you so much, Judge. I really appreciate you.
All right, thank you. You guys have a great one. And thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Thank you.
I'll bring up reset form to you, I think. Yes, ma'am, it is. Luis Alec Martinez. You need a copy of that? Yes, ma'am.
Just 1 second. Yes.
We need a Spanish speaking interpreter for my client, but we just want a jury trial. Do we just come back at 1:30? Okay.
All right, thank you. Michael Cox. All right, that'll be 1:30. Tyrone Shepherd.
Judge, he's not on the docket and he's not in court. He's being held in Georgia. The reason I'm approaching is because a motion to adjudicate was filed. I've discussed with the state, I believe it was filed in error. They're withdrawing the motion to adjudicate, and I'm going to ask the court to withdraw the caveats as well.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't.
That's okay. It's Monday. It's a beautiful day.
Everybody's tired.
All right, there you are. All right, that's it then.
Thank you, Judge.
You're
Have a good
welcome.
day.
You too.
This one's no action. Wants to come back after lunch or-
Let's just do it. He's in custody, right?
Yes, ma'am. There's no application. It's a straight.
All right. That way the deputies won't have to bring somebody back.
Oh, there you go.
Look at Mahia, it's like, thank you. All right.
Yes.
All right, are you all on Arturo Villanueva? I think it's a sex case. Oh, no, it's a failure to stop and render aid. Can you do me a favor? Can you give those motions to the state to review? Thank you. Yes.
Reyes,
On who?
Reyes, Eduardo, you send it back to get dressed
Yes.
and come back at 1:30. I wasn't wondering if I can be recalled for Tuesday, tomorrow. So I have.
I mean, this is a jury trial. so-
I know.
Yeah.
I
and-
just have a bunch of stuff that I can't.
I understand. The jury's gonna be out in the hallway at 1:30 though.
All right, then.
Okay, all right, thank you. Yes. All right, thank you. Court is calling 2024 CR 007743, State of Texas versus Patrick Nyangari. You're on this side.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right, if I gotta have parties announced for the record for the state
Jason, your hand, Your Honor.
defense.
Jose Rocha for Patrick Nyong'ere, Your Honor, with the interpreter that's here.
All right, and are you Mr. Nyangari?
Yes. Yes.
All right, so I don't think you say is the language he speaks, is the answer yes? Is that that in that language?
Yes.
All right, so here's the thing. Either we're going to use the interpreter or we're not going to use the interpreter, but you are not allowed to speak to me in English if we're using an interpreter.
Yes.
All right, and to the interpreter, if you could raise your right hand. And I'm sorry, what language are we speaking?
Swahili?
Swahili. Do you affirm that you will faithfully translate from English to Swahili and Swahili to English, so help you God? All right, can you lower your hand, state your name for the record?
My name is Shema Rubeduka.
All right, if you could spell that for the,
SHEMA Shema Rubeduka.
all right. Mr. Nyangari, all of the documents I'm going to review with you are in English. Were those documents explained to you in Swahili?
Madokumenti tulikupatia, tulikuonyesha uelewa Kiswahili.
Ndio.
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
All right, so
Oh, I have to say, okay,
you have everything that I say,
okay,
you have to translate it.
okay. Anauliza kama counsel alipata madokumenti tuliulizwa na Kiswahili. Kisha akasema ndio.
Ndio.
Yes.
All right, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Ulifasiriwa na hapo madokumenti yetu tulisema majaribu ya Kiswahili ulioelewa, ulisikia?
Ndio.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
na ulewa ile ingine ya polisi kama itafungiwa kama unasikia. Ndio. Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor. Nafahamu kama alisoma vile anakuelewa kile kitu. Ndio. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so before anybody answer my questions, give the interpreter a chance to interpret, then answer.
Okay. Kisha mbele ya kusema kila kitu chochote, nitatafsiri Kiswahili, kisha nitaleta nitamfasiria.
Did you review the court admonishments and defendants waivers with your attorney?
Ulielewa ile papeli kuonyesha ya jana kama palikuelezea mwenyewe itafuta kusikia leo pa. Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Ulielewa na ukasign kwa kila kitu. Ndio. Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with robbery?
Ulielewa.
That's a second degree felony.
Ulielewa kama ile funga uliiba iko kuolewa ya pili. Yes, ma'am.
Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Kama miaka mbili na miaka 12 na 1,000 ya kulipa. Ndio. Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea.
Nasema kama ile mpango uliingia na state itasema kama hawezi kuitikia au kama anatafuta kubadilisha au kubadilisha yao au kutafuta kitu kingine. Ndio. Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Ewa kama unaitikia mpango hii unaacha kila sheria yote unayo. Ndio. Yes, ma'am.
And I'm so sorry, the rights that you're giving up are the rights to a jury trial, the right to cross-examine any witnesses against you, and the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Sheria yote unaletwa unaitikia iko mafuta kuota uzie na nyumba na kuacha mpango bado. Ndio.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison? Did you understand?
Unaelewa kama ile ulitikia mpango ulitikia kama wanaona kama unaingia kati ya wafunga na kifungo watakuwa kurudisha na kusabi jail miaka 12. Ndio. Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kuonyesha kama kansa kama ilitia yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Anauliza kama yeye anaona kama ulielewa kila kitu alifasiria.
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Anauliza kama anaweza kama huko na matatizo yote kuelewa naona kila kitu nyita patia usiweze kufasiriwa kile alichokuwa.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ndio.
All right. Sir, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
Mtu mmoja alikuona bila kufuta kutika hiyo kitu chochote? No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
Na mtu alikuuliza kama utaposhipata kitu kingine au mpango? No, ma'am.
Has anyone, I'm sorry, are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Naona unaona kama yule mtu kufuatilia kile kitu chochote mzuri na unafurahi nayo? Ndio. Yes, ma'am.
Are you a US citizen?
Ndio. Ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial.
Na kama wanaona kama wewe pekee itoa roho yako kusikia mpango hii. Ndio. Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney?
Na uona mfasiri na ndio na kwa kama mfasiri mzuri. Ndio. Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication.
Na anakueleza kama mpango ile elfu moja.
They're taking this case into consideration and there's to be restitution to James Cardenas. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Na kuonyesha kama ule mtu ulimuiba atatafuta kuweza kuangalia mzuri nilifanya au kumrudishia mtu ulimuibia. Unaelewa? Ndio. Yes, ma'am.
All right, I didn't hear the words James Cardenas.
Well, sorry, explain a little bit different. Ule mtu James Cardenas ulimuiba atamrudishia vitu ulimuibia. Unaelewa? Ndio. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so with regards to interpreting, exactly what I'm saying is supposed to be interpreted. There's not supposed to be a synopsis or you saying something different or putting your own spin on it. So if I say there's $1,000 fine, the only thing you have to say to him is $1,000 fine. All right, so the plea bargain agreement is $1,000 fine.
Mapango iko elfu moja.
Deferred adjudication.
Na pango la chakula. Mambo ya kupatia.
There's a case being taken in consideration. And there's to be restitution to James Cardenas.
James Cardenas. Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the plea?
No. Kama yao ndio mpango? Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
No, anauliza kama anaolewa ndio mpango? Anasema yes.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor. Anauliza kama sikiliwa wanaolewa.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Na uliolewa na mtu kama kuja watu sign kitu uliolewa hivyo kufuatilia? Ndio. Yes, ma'am.
All right, by signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Kama naitia mpango basi kupatia kila kitu hivi watafanya iko kuangalia yenyewe basi. Kuelezea au tikia. Ndio. Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
Anauliza kama alikuwa na kila kitu.
There you are.
Asema pa.
Outside the agreement, state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 7 years.
Na anaweza kama mpango hii tikia kati ya miaka 7.
A TAP evaluation, a TAIP evaluation,
Na yenyewe wanasema unaangalia kama namna gani mtoto. Kati ya miaka 7 ile utakuwa namna gani mtoto.
120 hours of community service restitution,
Portion mbili ya kazi. Kazi hizo. Ni mambo ya sisi. Yes, ma'am.
and no contact with James Cardenas.
Na uwezo kukutana na mtu anaitwa James Cardenas. Yes, ma'am.
Right. I do not have to follow those recommendations. Do you understand?
Na anasema kama hayako sheria yake kufuata na kuambia atapisha kubadilisha. Unaelewa? Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Ile wanasema bali chagua kani namna gani kabisa. Unatikia guilty, guilty. No contest.
State any evidence.
Yes, sir. State exhibit number 1 with all its attachments. Anaweza kama waliona ile.
No objection, sir.
All right, state, you may be excused. Oh, do you have the? Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand?
Unaelewa kama uko na sheria ya kukala kimya si kitu au kuna baraza allows lakini kukala kimya. Yes, ma'am.
All right. The state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements, but there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
So, lakini itakuwa mbele ya watu.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication.
Kisha kuona ripoti hiyo banaona kama ulikuwa na makosa, lakini watupatie mpango ya sasa. Ndio.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
At this time, Your Honor, thank you very much for taking into consideration the other case and placing my client on deferred adjudication. I'm sure he's not going, he's going to be very successful and not going to have this court see him again. Your Honor, I've spoken to my client through the interpreter, and I believe that this is something that he would like to move forward with.
Anampigia kisanti na kama anakamata wakati kusikia ripoti yote na alipoelewa kila kitu, unaelewa nafasiriwa kama itakuwa nzuri mambo yako. And he thanks to.
All right, are you employed?
Una kazi unatumika? Ndio.
How long have you been unemployed?
Miaka wakati ngapi ulikuwa unatumika? About 12 years, 12, about 12 years.
How are you supporting yourself?
Namna gani unaweza kuishi? Through disability.
What do you receive disability for?
Okay. About mental health.
I'm sorry, what?
Mental health.
All right. Do you have any children?
No.
Do you have any family here?
Okay, he's got a cousin.
All right. Where is the rest of your family?
He doesn't have.
All right.
Sometimes.
Do you have any family outside of the United States? All right. As previously stated, the court is going to defer finding of guilt. The court will sentence you to $1,000 fine, probated, 7 years deferred adjudication.
Sasa wanasema kama watapatia mpango utalipa 1,000 na atakupatia miaka 7.
Court will take in consideration 2024 CR 00972.
Naangalia ile kesi ya kweli ndio analeta ile namba.
There's to be restitution and no contact with James Cardenas.
Hawezi kutafuta mtu anaitwa James Cardenas na kupatia mtu wake. Yes, ma'am.
120 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order anger management. Once he completes anger management, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Regular and random UAs.
What is it?
Regular urinalysis.
Oh, okay, okay.
Regular reporting. A TAIP evaluation and MIC evaluation in custody. Proof of employment or SSI benefits within 45 days of release from custody.
Make a simple, me at that. I think 45 days.
Yes.
I think simple.
Field visits, one time per month for 6 months.
Field visits.
Yes. Field visit, FIELD visits.
Okay. I think we can stop around earlier. Let's see. Busy sit down.
Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court?
You know, what I keep in here, court. No, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Don't know what to take. Information. Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal.
Mambo na itika mpango hii. Hauwezi tena kurudisha nyuma kusema kama natafuta
All right. If you need anything, let the court know. Good luck to you.
kama unatafuta kitu chochote. Uelewe.
Thank you. All right, if you remain, probation, go over conditions with him. Court is calling 2022 CR 3596, State of Texas versus Anthony Villarreal.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Can I have parties approach and announce for the record for the state? Defense.
Adam LaHood, defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Villarreal?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Have, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Villarreal, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, we're proceeding on count 1 and count 2, but waiving the repeat offender enhancement.
We have
Any
no
objections?
objections. We have no objections, Your Honor.
All right, and each count is an aggravated robbery?
It's a aggravated robbery. Count 2 is a felon possession.
All right, so the
Well,
paperwork,
We're gonna proceed on count 1. I'll waive
There
that.
we, I was just gonna say, yeah,
okay.
we're good.
All right, because I was like, the paperwork is off then. All right, so any objection to the waiver of count 2?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with aggravated robbery? That's a first-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes to both, Judge.
Mr. Villarreal, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No,
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
very much.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 18 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine, affirmative finding of deadly weapon, no applications. The state will take in consideration 2022 CR 8530. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Then to the offenses charged in count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence.
State offers State's Exhibit number 1 and attachments.
No objections, Judge.
Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, just that he's taking responsibility. We hope the court will follow the plea bargain, Judge.
All right, the court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 18 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, a $2,000 fine, time and money to rank concurrence. Take into consideration 2022 CR 8530. There's to be no contact with Rosa Hernandez de Leon, Wells Fargo, or Walmart. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. You're gonna have to change your ways.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, you're gonna spend the rest of your life in prison, all behind things. If you
Yes.
want things, you need to get a job to earn things. You understand?
It's my last run right here.
All right, well, I mean, how old are you?
53.
Yeah, this had better be your last run. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Oh, thank you. God bless you too.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes.
But honestly, that's just terrible. Except for tomorrow, but I just got the email saying that we're reset all the yesterday, everyone's phone on. Honestly, it's been doing that lately, and it's resetting stuff on its own. Here. I got a call number for you if you need it. Sullivan? That's.
Jacqueline Vera.
How are you?
Hey.
I don't have a voice today.
Oh my gosh. So you survived Black Friday or whatever?
I did, yes.
I enjoy your Black Friday posts. All right, so today's plea deadline date.
Yes, so I was given a new offer judgment from the state for a pre-trial diversion. So
Okay.
we're asking for a little bit more time so we can apply for the pre-trial diversion.
All right, I need a date for PTD. PTD date. You said January 14th. Let me look at the schedule, just one moment. All right, we'll bring you back on January 14th.
Okay, Judge, just have to have applied by then.
Yes,
Okay, thank you, Judge.
you're welcome.
Judge.
What page is that on? Oh, I found it. All right, this is the last one before break. Ruth Trevino. Who's the attorney?
I am, Judge.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 008861, State of Texas versus Ruth Marisol Trevino. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Andrew Harris, Salem.
defense?
Grant Hardy for the defendant.
And are you Ruth Marisol Trevino?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Trevino, did you review the application for community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor, I
Coun-
did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Trevino, did you review court admonishments and defendants' waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand? All right, she's not a citizen?
No, Your Honor.
All right, has she spoken to an immigration attorney?
She has,
Yes,
Judge.
I know.
All right. All right, did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated third or more? Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, I do.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, I do.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, I do.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Ms. Trevino, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, I have.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No, ma'am.
Counsel, were you able to confer with immigration attorney?
I was not, Judge. She conferred with an immigration attorney outside of my presence.
All right. Ms. Trevino, did you have an opportunity to speak with an immigration attorney?
Yes, I have.
And did you speak to them about the consequences of entering a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you speak to them concerning the implications this plea will have on your immigration status?
Yes, I'm very much aware.
All right. Do you understand that you could possibly be deported and not allowed reentry?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you aware that you could possibly be denied naturalization?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I do.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. There's no application for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision, and there's to be ignition interlock for half the term. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, I understand.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. There be 10 days in the Bexar County Jail as a condition, 120 hours of community service restitution, the DWI intervention program, and VIP live. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, I understand.
Counsel, you need to sign. Oh, then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
That I'm guilty.
State, and you're pleading guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
State, any evidence?
Attachments, Your Honor.
You may be excused. Did you review the document entitled waiver and consent to stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, she has 3 children and she's 7 months pregnant. She has not had a drop of alcohol since this incident. And
she frankly she explains to me, she's very eager to get help in dealing with her alcohol problem. So we would ask that the court honor the agreement and put her on probation as agreed.
All right, so I'll give her a choice. She can do 10 days at the Bear County Jail, or she can do 30 days on GPS.
30 days in GPS.
Are you employed?
No, man.
All right, that's gonna be full GPS for 30 days. And I'll ask that the fees be waived. So the court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 4 years, $2,000 fine, probated, ignition interlock for half the term, 120 hours of community service restitution. I'm gonna order parenting classes. Once she completes parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Full GPS for 30 days, waive fees in lieu of 10 days at the Bear County Jail. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, a referral to felony drug court, TAP evaluation out of custody, field visits, 1 time per month for 6 months, 120 sober meetings in 120 days. When's the last time you had employment?
About 8 years.
All right, how do you support yourself?
My husband. I'm a stay-at-home mom. My husband's the one that works, and I stay at home with my kids.
All right. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And probation, I'm not requiring her to be employed since she's married and she's a stay-at-home mom, but I'm not allowing her to supplement any of the income by being a home health care provider or working with minors. The DWI intervention course, Victim Impact Panel Live, DWI education. Probation, is there anything else? Yes, 1 per month for 6 months.
There's one matter I'd like to address.
Yeah. Yes.
With respect to the GPS judge, does the court have any objection to her going to doctor's appointment? She is.
Yeah, she can go to doctor's appointments.
Great.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't understand.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right, we can go off the record. Obviously, you have an alcohol problem, and you are one of those people who cannot drink alcohol whatsoever. If you continue this vein, what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up either killing somebody or you're going to end up in prison. And no amount of children that you have to take care of is going to stop you from going to prison. Do you understand?
I understand.
You've been to court before on a driving while intoxicated with a child in your vehicle. So if you don't want to get clean and sober for yourself, do it for your children. Because what would end up happening is if you end up going to prison, I could be wrong, but usually guys don't wait for women when they go to prison. Women will usually wait for guys when they go to prison. And you're going to end up in a situation where it's going to be like hand that rocks the cradle. When you come back, somebody else is going to be taking care of your children and calling them mom. You understand?
I do.
So you had better get serious about your sobriety. All right? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.